Music Scene Investigation, another Sunday. Glad to have you with us, Rich Wildman here. We are on the air, and I think everything's working right.
Rich,
Tom.
I just wanted to let you know I'm here just in case you just want to take my seat again. It's filled this time.
Okay, well, it was a big seat to fill.
And you tried, I will admit that.
Well, I appreciate the response from you, and next time I won't have to take your seat because I know you're going to be here early.
Well, I actually was here. I was deep underneath the mixing console, addressing tech issues.
Okay, well, I had tried to call your cell phone. I called your neighbor.
No, Rich, it's okay. I'll just put you down in the book.
Okay.
You'll get a call or a horse head, I'm sure.
All right.
It's only two shows he's missed in a row now.
I know. It's okay, though. It's all good. We're all fine, and I'm glad Tom is back wearing his Star Trek shirt.
Yes, I beamed in specially.
Well, this is good to hear. All right, everybody, if you're wondering what the hell's going on, well, welcome to the club. So, no, we're glad to have Tommy back with us, and we'll talk more with him in just a little bit. I do want to send out a big congratulations to the MSI Hit List winner. It was crowned last week, Dylan Locke, with his great track, Killer in Sin, which won the MSI Hit List just this past week for the month of July. So congratulations out to him, and we're going to have that again next month, the second Wednesday of the month. You can find out who from the Song of the Week selectees that happened this month might win Hit List next month. That's what we're up to here. We're trying to pick out a Song of the Week. What we do is we gather 3 songs that are submitted by indie artists from around the world. We randomly select 3 each week and place in front of our panel of industry experts and get their opinions on them. Of course, we like to hear your opinion, too. Please join us in the chat room, musicsceneinvestigation.com, and click on the live button, and you can join us there. Let us know what you think. Of course, at the end of the show, we would ask that you go over to the witness page as well and tell us what you think there, and we'll bring the results to you next week. And this week, of course, we'll have last week's results as well. Let's go over and talk to Tom a little bit more because I know he's itching to get right to it today. Hey, Tommy.
Yes.
It's good to see you. Did you get a haircut again?
I trimmed my beard, as we discussed earlier. I'll put this out there. Should I do a little bit of the gray away or keep it au natural? I mean, I don't mind my hair. I like it. It's got nice streaks of silver, but until the beard grows in, it's just a little top-heavy whiteness, you know?
I think it looks good the way it is, especially at this camera angle.
Well, you can also see my nose hairs, but,
That's all right. You just comb them in with your mustache and you're fine.
I have.
And it looks good. It looks very good, Tom. Tom, it's great to have you back with us again this week. As always, we really like it a lot better when you're here with us.
So do I.
All right, let's go to London, England, and meet Mr. Ian Husbands. And Ian has our guest with him in-house as well. Ian and Dave Carrera from Carrera Drums. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
And it's sporting the new Samsung Galaxy S4, which is much better and bigger than Ian's i5 phone. Corporate wars in London.
Apple all the way.
I was going to say, it's amazing some of the stuff that we get into on this show. And, I did not know, I was not aware that Dave has a sponsor now.
He is, yes. I mean, we're going to start doing the, the I'm an Apple, I'm a PC adverts.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Me and Dave have basically been signed up to do the new I'm an Apple, I'm a PC
I'm an
advert.
Android.
So, yeah.
Which explains a lot.
It certainly does.
Because I'm an alien, but don't tell the security forces.
We will not. And speaking...
Out of your papers.
I am glad you brought that up, though, because, of course, we do want to say hello to everyone out in the NSA.
And the GCHQ.
And MI9.
And
no, don't mention them.
Oh, no. Shh.
We just want to say hello to everybody. How's that?
Let's not leave anybody out.
If
you're right.
Listening, we're glad for your viewership.
Exactly. We definitely are. And so, Dave, it's been a while since we had you on with us. Tell us what you've been up to, what's been going on. Last time we talked, you were in the middle of an expansion at Carrera Drums. You had also alluded to the fact that you had a new distributor. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that this time around.
Yeah, well, the expansion's going well ahead. We got the hole in the wall finally after 3 or 4 weeks, which allowed us to put our 8 foot by 4 foot oven in space. So Christmas turkeys this year are going to be well cooked.
All round the studio for dinner.
Sorry,
all round the studio.
It's all round to our place for Christmas dinner this year. What else?
Let's clarify what's that, because I had to ask what you're going to be using that oven for. What you're going to be using that 8x4 oven for? It's not for cooking people, right?
We're cooking people who ask too many questions, Ian.
I'll be getting my coat.
I'll tell you what, let's talk about the distributor, the new distributor you guys were alluding to last time around.
Well, it's a customer who's bought our drum shells and kindly announced that he does use our shells as well, which is great, in America, called Pork Pie Drums. I'm sure many of your listeners will know them over in America and over here as well, because they sell quite a lot in Europe and the Far East. So we're very proud of that, and that's led on to other inquiries from other USA customers and a couple from over here as well. So yes, we're very, very happy and proud of that.
Well, absolutely. Congratulations on that. I think that's well-deserved, and I can't wait for you guys to expand further and further and just blanket the earth.
It's a takeover bid, but don't tell the security forces, for God's sake.
No, we won't. We'll actually encrypt that part of the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Unfortunately, Dave is not aware that they can break encryption already, so I can say pretty much anything. And it works.
Dave, watch out for the pods. Once you see the pods, then you know it's a complete takeover.
Yeah, well, the secret word we agreed to was wibble, wasn't it?
Wibbles wobble, but they won't fall down.
With the pencil up each nose.
A pair of pants in. For all you Blackadder fans out there.
I just have this
Flash. Woof.
I have this uncanny feeling it's going to be a strange show today, so I certainly hope everybody downloads the recording of this for posterity's sake, because it's going to be interesting, I guarantee it. All right, so Dave, tell us what else you've been up to, what's been going on new since last time we talked, aside from completing your expansion.
What about your industry first?
We've set up a new brand. It's still part of Carrera, but we just wanted a new brand that we could do certain sizes of drums, finished drums, not the shells. So we called it the Camden Drum Company, which has got a Facebook page and Twitter page and all that sort of stuff. It's all very new at the moment. But one of the key features, which we're still trying out, but it looks very good, is the drum wrap that goes round has the badge, a company logo, actually printed on the wrap, which means that we've got to lay it on very exact. Otherwise, the badge will be off to one side or the other. But we think it looks good because I think, if I'm correct, it's an industry first.
Well, this is going to be
rack. When you mean, I know because there are several drummers who use, just a straight out steel rack and mount their drums on that, as opposed to the individual stands. What do you mean exactly?
No, Tom, it's the wrap. Sorry, it's probably too much coffee.
Hey.
Being such a great host here, Ian. Yeah, it's the covering around the drums, so you can either lacquer them like normal wood furniture or oil them, whatever. But you can put a vinyl sheet around them, which is done now. A lot of drums use it because it's hard wearing and everything else. It's great, it's no problem. But what we're trying to do is digitally print the badge into the wrap itself. So you can imagine when you look at the bass drum, the badge is going to be on top. When you look at the tom-toms in front, they've got to have two, one either side of the mount. So you can, if you play it left-handed or right-handed, it all works. And all these measurements are going to be bang on. Now I had a look around. I'm not saying we are the first to do it, but I haven't seen anything like it before. So I could be corrected. But it's it's quite exciting, and for an intermediate level kit as well, which is what the Carrera Drum Company is. And we've already got placement in the Underworld, which is a very large a nightclub over here, music club over here, venue, 7 days a week, live music from all different styles and things. So, but yeah, it's all happening. It's all going in millions of different directions.
Absolutely great venue to play as well.
So basically, you've got your logo on the instrument itself, as opposed to the skin.
Yeah, it's as opposed. Most companies put a physical metal badge on the outside, which is no problem. It's great. But I was just thinking, could you print it on digitally so it doesn't rub off and everything else? And yes, you can. But like I say, you've then got to be very exact in your laying up of the wrap around the shell before you then drill all the holes for the metal pieces, the lugs, and everything else.
A serious question. I mean, I'm in the printing game as well. I take it that is cheaper than metal badging the drums.
No.
No?
It would seem more expensive.
That would allow you to produce a budget range without compromising the quality of the actual build, rather than just taking the fine points off.
The first few sheets that I've had, as you can see, they're one-off samples.
Right.
So they're costing a fortune.
Yeah.
It's not cost effective. But when you get up to 100 sheets, that's when it starts to become much more.
So for mass production, like the Camden Drums is intended to be, it's
once,
going to be
once
a good money saver.
Once we get the 50 to 100 kits a month going out, then it's a.
And that allows you to keep the cost down for the customer as well.
Yeah. So we've managed to bring it under £900 for a full kit. Yeah.
And that full kit includes two toms,
floor tom, bass drum, and then you add on a snare as and when.
Okay.
That's all handmade in Uxbridge here. So
right.
So
just up the road from where we're sitting now.
From where we are.
That's pretty amazing when you really think about it. Being able to do so much over so little time that you've accomplished since the last time you were on the broadcast. I mean, you guys are just going all out there, it sounds like.
Well, you can procrastinate all you like in life, or you just go for it and be clever about it. Don't overstretch yourself. But if you feel that you can do things, why not just go and do it? What is the worst that can happen? You can fail. Whoopee-doo. You've had a million experiences as you've been doing it. And if you really want to, you can just brush yourself off and move on. So never feel you can't do anything just because you might fail. There's millions of people fail every day of the week at doing everything. So.
And you're on about buying a digital 3D printer as well, aren't you?
There's that as well. That's on the thing for nylon or plastic lugs as well for later on. That's another idea that we're playing around with.
Print your drum kit. I like it.
Yeah, print it. Yeah.
Could you do heads on that?
No. They're a different type. They're Melar, MELAR material. Like a plastic, it's one or two layers.
But these printers are plastic.
But it's not plastic, tough plastic.
Right.
But
obviously the opportunities in the future as the technology develops, that
let the future come.
Yeah.
As anything develops, just use it.
Give it
a go. If it doesn't work now, it'll work in 10 years' time.
What a plastic shell sound like?
Plastic. The opposite to wood.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
But plastic shells exist, and they have done for 50, 60 years. With Ludwig and other with the acrylite shells.
Right. Yeah.
They're a plastic of sorts. Yeah. So you could, in theory, with a big enough printer, you could print them.
Yeah. There you go.
In theory.
Project for you.
Makes perfect sense. I like the idea that you're talking about having to make mistakes.
Yeah,
and that's a part of life in business as well as artistry and music. And I'm sure that you would agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you play safe all the time, you never advance yourself. Do you see what I mean? In music as well. Right now I'm getting some master classes from Sam Kelly. To really break down my own personal barriers in drumming, just because of the career that I've had with it, and even now I'm starting to get the benefits of pushing the boundaries, breaking the mold, breaking away from what I'm used to, Ian would probably agree as well. It's just sometimes you've got to push in business, in relationships, in work, everything. Otherwise, you go nowhere. You just stand still. And what's the point of that?
Don't be afraid of taking risks.
Absolutely.
I mean,
calculate risk.
Obviously, yeah.
But just take
that
that risk.
Life lessons from a drummer. That's got to be another first.
How about that?
Recorded here for prosperity tonight.
It did happen once. There was a drummer that said something fairly sort of clever.
Well, in all fairness, you are a little bit more than a drummer. You actually facilitate other drummers as well, don't you?
Whipple.
All right. Well, speaking of Wibble, let's get down to the business at hand, gentlemen.
And in the right colour.
You know,
you're not having my pants.
There you are. That's a picture for Facebook if I ever saw one. I got to tell you.
Lovely face.
Wibble.
Let's listen to some music.
All right, let's do indeed listen to some songs that have been submitted to this week's Music Scene Investigation. Certainly hope you're ready for it, everyone. It's going to be an interesting one. This is song number 1 on today's Music Scene Investigation. I certainly hope you enjoy it, everyone.
The endless highway is my companion, and I'm carrying heavy load from one place to another. Every day, each week, full concentration is the first step. And hot coffee keeps me awake. The music loud from the radio, and the rolling of the wheels. Could you lay your head upon my shoulder? Simple gesture I still miss. Could you lay your head upon my shoulder? Oh, my darling, I miss you. On the road to Calais, on the road to Calais, on the road to Calais, on the road to Calais. Service line announces a problem. Long, long queues in front of the ferries. My inner fury is still rising. Cannot arrive just in time. It's a helpless situation, a daily risk I have to face. The music loud from the radio and the rolling of the wheels. Could you lay your head upon my shoulder? Simple gesture as to miss. Could you lay your head upon my shoulder? Oh my darling, I miss you. On the road to Calais, 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 on the road to Calais.
That's song number one on today's Music Scene Investigation. We're going to go over to Tom first this time around. Find out. I change it up. Tommy,
by surprise.
I know it. Tommy,
I wasn't out.
What do you think, Tommy, of song number one?
As overall, I liked it. I like all the sounds and placement. I like it so much, I'm going to get very picky. This is definitely what would be called an album cut. 2 minutes and 25 seconds or so for the build is way too long for radio friendly. Anywhere outside of a live performance, people tend to lose interest, as well as everything was. There were some slight timing inconsistencies in the guitars. I would have liked a little bit more bottom on them. They were very clear and well placed. The vocals, times, were, for change, a little overbearing when it was just the guitars. The guitars, should have been able to reinforce the vocals instead of being subdued by them and poke through. The song material, it's a folk song. It's very pleasant, very laid back. And outside of the length of each part, this would do well to just cut it down, to 3:35 and release it as a single. Vocal backgrounds came in, interesting parts at the end, a little pitchy in the vocals. And again, I'm being very picky. And the balances, left-right wise, weren't consistent. And like I said, again, I'm being very picky. Very well performed, very well displayed, but definitely an album cut. And it will lose its strength and in the lengthy presentation. Get to the point sometimes is not a bad thing, and never wait too long for the hook. But other than that, I really liked it.
All right, Tom, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's go over to the dynamic duo, Ian and Dave. Ian, what do you think of this track?
Right.
Put your Batman suit on.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Batman.
I'll be Robin.
Right. I thought it was very safe. I mean, Tom's made some very valid points. It could have been 2 minutes shorter. I think Dave and I agreed on that. The intro was far too long. I mean, the performances were generally pretty good. Again, Tom's the laid-back vocal style was nice. There was some nice use of vocal layering there, but I felt the whole mix was very safe. And the thing that really bugged me about this track was the arrangement of the instrumentation. Waiting so long for the drums and the bass to come in, it didn't feel like a dynamic to the song. It felt like the drummer and the bass player were late for the recording session.
And when are we never?
It's a given. But and then, you know, after that sort of come in, it meandered on for a bit more, and then the piano player came in and it felt like he just turned up as well. And integration of these parts, you know, you've got that nice harmonica on the intro and the outro, but used nowhere else in the track. And I really feel the arrangement of the instrumentation needs to be integrated more, so it's less segmenty. It's like you've got the segment with the bass and drums, the segment with the piano, the segment with the, you know, it's all identifiable parts which need to meld and become one song, if that makes sense. Again, I'm going to guess this was called The Road to Calais. Am I right?
I'm not going to comment yet.
Oh.
Bogner in the summertime.
And Bogner in the summertime. Beautiful.
It's actually called Wibble.
Wibble. Lyrically, again, it was a little bit cliche. It's another one of these sort of on-the-road journey type tracks. We've heard them all before, and it was nothing new, and that was a shame, really, because, you know, there is a good song here, but it does need to be taken down to about 3.5 minutes. Parts integrated more together, so it's not so segmented. And, you know, you can work on that mix, get that mix a bit more dynamic in its own right, rather than just being all pretty much on the same level all the way through and relying on the extra instrumentation to give the dynamic of the song.
All right. And Dave, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, as everyone else has said, really, it is a nice song. You know, in the world, you do need songs like this, pleasant, just chilled out, nice songs. You know, drop some acid and off you go, as one of our people on the board have said. God, that takes me back.
That's a flashback, I think they call that, David.
Wibble. But yeah, there was no dynamics. It was 2 minutes 49 too long. Again, the intro build up way too long for a radio song, as Tom said. For an album track, fine. You've got the luxury. You can pad out. That's fine. But yeah, again, it's sectioned, as Ian was saying about segments and sections. It just felt like, now we're doing this bit, right? Now we're doing this bit, right? Now we're doing this bit, and they didn't seem to meld. And at one point, we went from sort of, you know, normal folk into Irish folk, vocally. And I think the girl was getting a bit tired towards the end at some points, you know, singing. But that's just picky stuff. I mean, you know, you can do that kind of thing. But
that thing, I mean, you say about the Irish, that was about 3:30 in, and he seemed to go from sort of like a sort of Frenchy accent to a sort of Irish gypsy accent.
Yeah,
there was a sort, and that really sort of. But Dave and I looked at each other, and it was like, what happened there?
Songs changed.
And the backing vocals, those question and answers, they got really weak, didn't they?
Yeah, very weak. Very weak.
No energy in them at all.
It felt like they were made up.
Definitely unbalanced, and overall, the parts weren't matched, and sometimes one voice would stick out than the other. I mean, all this is correctable, but like Ian has said, the segmenting, the building of dynamics, it all needs to be shortened down and expressed in the time of now. You know, it's a great folk song, given, but let's, you know, this is a high-tech world where everything moves fast.
Yeah.
Fortunately. Good songs like this to lay back and listen to, but you still don't want to feel like you're stuck in the mud and listening to somebody play 18 bars of guitar before somebody will sing 16 bars, and then somebody will play 4-bar harmonica. You know what I mean? Like Ian had said, it needs condensement.
The song could have gone somewhere instead of going on and on and on and on. That's what it felt like. It just felt like too long and didn't really go anywhere.
Maybe the road to Calais was quite a long one.
It probably is. And from Dover to Calais, it's wet.
That's not a road. That's a sea.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't you walk on the tunnel that's underneath?
Only if you
Wibble, gentlemen, wibble.
Oh, right. Sorry.
I think we can watch the movie and find it all out. Let me introduce that track to everyone. The name of that song, as Ian has said, is Road to Calais. It's by a group called Feller Band, and we appreciate their sending that song into Music Scene Investigation. You want your music in front of our panel? It's very easy to do. Go to musicsceneinvestigation.com, hit the submit a song at the top of the page, and hopefully we'll see you on a show real soon and get your music in front of our panel. Dave, you were going to say something, sir.
Yeah. Just to remind you that tonight MSI comes with you courtesy of Jack Daniels and Samsung Galaxy S4 and the Apple iPhone 5 Diddly What's It.
Diddly What's It. That's a new product, I think.
Yeah, it's a new Apple range. Haven't you heard of it?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I've got the
I have the USB version of the Diddly What's It.
Awesome, aren't they? Absolutely awesome. They've got trigger bits.
Trigger bits and wibbles.
If I were to tell anybody this show has gotten so far out of control that there's nothing I can do about it, would you believe me?
I think there's too much caffeine in the air, and I apologize to song number one. We dwelled upon it. We will dwell on the other twos. My English is good.
All right. Well, let's listen to one of the other twos right now. This is song number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation. A reminder to the guys on the panel, the beginning is a little loud. So this is song number 2. Enjoy it, everyone. Certainly hope you do. Song number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation. We're going to go over to Mr. Tom Chianti, find out what he thought. Tom, your take on track number 2.
Another good song. A couple of things that struck me right off the bat is it sounded very digital. Everything was very toppy around 5, 6K and had, it punched. little bit overcompressed. And the tempo, I think, of the song should have been raised, would have added a lot more excitement to it. It seemed, I was waiting for it to kick in, even though the guitar sounds and vocal sounds are nice, they don't have the fullness of live instruments, and whether it's how they recorded or how it was mixed, it may have been done completely in the box, computer and plugins only, which is usually not a problem, but it's very pronounced in this. And the subject material was interesting. I liked the vocal. Could have been a little bit treated a little bit better. His style of singing, I think it reminds me of something like The Crew or something back then. A little bit of the 80s, which is cool. But again, it just, I was really wanting more bass and a faster tempo to give it the excitement that's there, but could be presented better. Overall, good song. I think they should just raise the tempo.
All right, Tom, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now over to Ian and Dave. What do you guys think of this track, Ian?
Go on, take it.
Dave?
Well, as soon as it kicked in, I went The Cure straight away, and then I was trying to think of the vocal, and what did we decide on?
Joy Division.
Joy Division.
New Order.
New
Same-
Order,
same.
that kind of thing. There seems to be somewhere a bit of push-pulling on the timing. I don't know whether it was vocals or jumping in or...
It was in the transitions, wasn't it? It was like from verse to chorus, and then from the sort of chorus back into the verse. It was a bit of a stagger.
Yeah. Now, whether that's in the mix or whatever's happened or when they were playing it, I don't know. But it did feel like a bit of a stutter going on. But that can be fixed. It's not killer.
Quantize the drummer. Sorry.
Yeah. Just sack the drummer. No. Just no. That's not nice. No. It's fine. It was fine. Just felt a bit push-pully. That was all. Also, there didn't seem to be much in the middle. It seemed sort of, we've done that bit, that's safe, let's loop it. I can't remember a middle that I can whistle along to or something like that, which it needs. It needs that kind of rememberable part. So a bit of work, and it'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be fine. A true kickback to the 80s, though. Definitely that kind of vibe going on.
All right, Ian?
From my point of view, there's a really strong song here, and the biggest thing that got to me was that hook, the ooze. One, it's kind of overdone, and secondly, it was overdone in this track. I heard it far too often to the point that I started getting a little bit annoyed by it. Mm-hmm. It would work as a hook, but you need to trim that back a little bit. It didn't need to be so prevalent. There's places where he's saying this is a call to arms, but his vocal didn't sound like he was calling anyone to arms. It just sounded like it was a throwaway comment. And again, from a vocalist point of view, if I'm putting out a call to arms, I want to make it a call to arms. I want to make it big. I want to make it bold. There was no vocal layering on that section. It was just the guy's voice. Again, I agree with Tom. The vocal treatment could have been a bit tighter. I think a lot of work could be done with more backing vocals and harmonies and layering in the whole track. It was all a bit sort of monotonous on the vocal. There is a really good song here. I mean, the mix was, again, as Tom said, you could hear everything, but there was no sort of sparkle to it. It all seemed pretty flat and mid-range. And as Dave said, that timing drag.
What it was.
As people have picked up in the chat room as well. But I mean, the thing that got for me was that Peter Hook bass line. I mean, that really did work. I liked that lots. I liked the whole style of this track. It just needs a bit of attention on the mix.
It will work.
The arrangement.
It will work as a song.
Totally.
It just needs a little bit of TLC. That's
It's, as Tom said as well, it's probably one of those tracks that if you saw them live, it would be a lot bigger and bolder. And they haven't managed to capture that when recording it in the studio.
Which happens a lot.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
Also, speeding up the tempo would have given them that extra space to add a middle eight or something different in the middle.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, I appreciate that. Let me introduce this track to you. The name of the song, obviously, Call to Arms. by Matty Carson. We appreciate Matty Carson sending Call to Arms into Music Scene Investigation. You know, one of the... 2 for 2. One of the things that is toughest for indie artists out on the net is getting their name out there and getting known. Well, an easy way to do it is join a social network. Which one? How? How do you do it? Well, go to the Indie Music Bus and let Walter and his gang sort it all out for you. Ride the bus. Forget about everything else. Walter and the crew over at the Indie Music Bus really will take care of you. I guarantee it. All right, guys. Tom. It is. It's just one of those shows. You never know what's going to happen.
Alana has just come home, so I had to go out and properly greet my woman. I mean, you proper English gents know the importance of a relationship and saying hello and show appreciation.
Tom, we have staff to do that.
The day my people get in touch with her people, I know it's over.
Oh, Butler, go see the wife.
Have I mentioned that I think I'm have no control over this show at all? I don't know.
This is what you get for taking my seat on Wednesday.
I know. I'm sorry.
And letting my friends come round to play.
I'm sorry. Won't happen again, I promise. All right, let's listen to track number 3 on today's Music Scene Investigation, everyone. Hope you enjoy this track.
Got my face to the floor. Special case, little rat.
Just watching Ian here as that song is playing. He's looking back at Dave, and I don't know what's going on, but let's go over to those guys first and find out what they think. Ian, Dave, your thoughts on this particular track?
On that last bit where the drums died out and they were thumping in, yeah, I just so wanted to put in a 20 roll drum thing going. Oh,
there you go.
That's what I would have.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Carrera on the drums.
That's what I would have done. You know, I mean, I've got a kit here as well. There he was going there. You know.
That was rocking it, wasn't it?
Oh, like that. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Can I play on it?
Thing that my biggest thing with this track is, where was the bass line?
Yeah, there was not enough there, was there?
I couldn't hardly hear it, and when I could, it was very low in the mix, and it was really moulding in with those guitars, and it needed that bass line to underline it. The vocals were there, could have been a touch louder in places. The guitars sounded great. I loved the screechy sound they were getting out of them. Could have been louder on the solo. I thought the solo could have had a bit more presence about it. But everything was there. Everything was nice. The drums sounded good. The toms, when he went to that tom breakdown, a little bit flappy. Would you agree?
Yeah, a bit weak. Yeah.
A bit of compression on them to tighten them up.
Yeah, and they need to be more prominent in this kind of song. You need to hear it. It's one of these. It's like the American sort of thing. Really big sound. With a bass line, even if you're not going to bottom end it, if you're going to mid to treble a bass, which I like. I actually do like that, more a funkier bass.
Yeah.
But it needs to be more prominent. It needs to be with it. It needs to be the drums and bass need to be working together in that thing. And we need a big, long intro roll right at the end. Fantastic. You could have done a video on there, 20 cameras, it would have worked. You could twist the kit. You could do that thing with flip the kit around, and I was there. I was at the stadium. I was enjoying myself.
That was the acid he dropped you in the first song.
Yeah, Wibble.
Where are the bikini-clad girls?
Yeah, mankinis.
Stop it with the mankinis. I love the vocalists went sort of through different stages. You had that sort of classic rock start with that sort of real high, powerful sort of classic rock vocal into that sort of grungier growl, and then that sort of more punky chorus. And I really liked the way they sort of worked those styles in with each other. It did work, and the arrangement of the track, the way it went through that middle eight into that little sort of breakdown on the tom, the kick, and a little bit of vocal in there as well, and then building into that solo. The arrangement was spot on with this. It took you on a nice little ride.
That build-up bit, like I say, before the 20 drum intro, that could have been a bit tidier. That seemed there was a little bit of sloppiness going on there. It didn't really sort of come in clinical. It didn't come in. I'm going to hit you hard in a minute. You know what I mean? And it didn't. It just sort of there. You know what I mean? And not on one of these songs. You can't do that.
No,
you've got to be big, loud, brash, in your face, get you, and that's what you need to be.
Well, there you have it.
Baseline. We need more baseline.
Baseline, yeah.
Comes down to it.
But good song, though. Good song. Enjoyed it.
Great song. Really did enjoy it.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Now let's go over to Mr. Tom Chianti, find out what he thought. Tommy?
Are you sure the Bobbsey twins are done?
I think they are.
Okay, Batman and Ribbon.
Hold on a minute.
I really like the excitement on this, the arrangement, the vocals. Everything was there. Unfortunately, it was placed somewhere above 1,500 hertz. There was no bottom. Yes, the guitars were biting, but they could have been fuller. This was small. This was not as it needed the drum fills, I mean, anything that would have added more bottom to it would have been put this over the top. A good mastering job, and it's done. But rather than that, just take it and run it through some warm EQs or something and bring the bottom up to keep the clarity. The track is very clear. Everything is arranged and played very well. I really liked the tempo on this one. It had the excitement, but it didn't have the fullness and the presence that it could have had. And that was disappointing because it's a good song. Like I said, when you present this on the web or radio, it's going to be dithered and compressed, and you're going to lose more bottom. So you're taking something thin and making it thinner. This track is starving. Feed this man some beef.
Seriously, you're pretty good at this normally. When I ask you frequency range, what sort of frequency range would you suggest they start at, looking at on that bass?
On the bass, I think it definitely needs some 80 hertz. A bump around anywhere between 100 to 200 hertz. Leave the clarity there. Back off on the compression. Keep it full and live. Give it a slow attack and a quick release so you get the impact and all of the EQ happening. Same thing with the bass drum. It needs a a touch of the low lows, and definitely some low end. This sounds like either a headphone mix that was mixed through, headphones that, overcompensate, or not on true studio quality monitors. Now, of course, I'm a spoiled ass brat, and I have tons of high quality gear at my control, but I mean, it's there for a reason, so that I don't run into these problems, or I don't let my clients run into these problems. And I stuck on this because the song is so darn good that if it just had that bottom touch, tweak, whatever you want to call it, it would just lift it to, pop radio, a bunch of genres, and sell.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And I'll introduce this track to everyone while I have the opportunity. The name of this track is called Destroyer by Radloot, and we appreciate Radloot sending the track in to us at Music Scene Investigation. Now, I want to remind everybody, we want you to fill out the witness statement, so please go to musicsceneinvestigation.com/witness. Let us know what you think about what you heard today and whether or not you agree with our panelists, as they are now going to take and select a song of the week. So, gentlemen, I turn it over to you to let you select that song of the week.
Well, it's a done deal.
Than one. So go ahead, guys.
It's a done deal for me. Easy decision. We've had some pretty good tracks on tonight. It's been nice to see. But I think 3 is going to stay with me after this show, so 3 is going to be Song of the Week.
Yeah.
There's the bottom end of that song, Driving Away.
Yeah, pardon the bus outside.
But yeah, I mean, all 3 songs had their charm. They really did. Short in number 1, a bit of tidying up in number 2, but 3 is the one that if I could hear it on the radio. Yeah. Later on, just needs again a little bit of TLC, and it'll be fine. So 3 for me.
Tommy?
Well, not that it matters, but I agree. I mean, 3 is at the right tempo, right length, right production, and again, the only dissatisfying thing was it needed, pardon me for going there, balls, bottom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Rich likes a bit of us.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Song number 3, it is Radloot's Destroyer. Congratulations to Radloot on being selected as our Song of the Week with the song Destroyer. And Tommy, I want to check out, how do you like your new lower third? Does that work all right for you?
I didn't see it. Put it up again.
Okay, it'll be up there in just a second. You'll be able to check it out and let me know what you think of it.
Spoiled ass brat.
Yeah.
And you spelled it correctly.
I just, hope you enjoyed that. All right, everybody, we really appreciate your being here with us as well. So thank you for being here. Dave, I want to take the opportunity to thank you again for being with us.
Yes, awesome. And thank you, Ian, for your hospitality. This tonight has been brought to you by Jack Daniels, Samsung microphones, and the Samsung Galaxy S4 with widescreen, and Apple iPhone, just to keep it corporate arguments, corporate row.
And of course, we want to
pushing for plugs.
We want to remind everybody to go to CarreraDrums.com as well.
Phone 6.
All right, enough of that. Enough of that, everybody. I'm going to play out with Destroyer by Radloot on today's MSI. Please join us again next week when we'll do it all over again next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. GMT. Certainly hope to see you with us then. Until then, everyone, so long.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to put the bottom man.
Got my face to the floor. Now I'm special case, little rat.